Hello, everybody. What's going on? I apologize for the delayed stream today. Had a bunch of stuff going on, but we're back. Might have to cut it off a little bit short today, but we'll see what's going on. Yeah, welcome in, Abra. How's it going? Zach, what's going on? Yeah, I want to work on. We got like all the main stuff ready on Lured In now, so I think it's just a matter of doing a little bit of balancing. Maybe I wanted to draw like maybe 1 or 2 more fish, and then I think we're good to go. So, but yeah. And we'll kind of like run through the game a little bit, I think, and just kind of play for a minute. And I need to do like basically some play testing because I think some of the values were a little bit like, I think the weight upgrades were a little too like overpowered in my opinion. So I kind of want to nerf those a little bit, I think. Probably significantly increase the cost scaling. Yeah, and I will probably keep messing with that more and more as time goes on. I'm gonna start it off pretty. Let's just go ahead and dive in. I think I'll up the cost scaling on this to like 3, so every time you buy it, it increases 3 times. Because I want this to be like this is a really powerful upgrade, right? Because you can, especially late game, it you know, allows you to put more fish in there, so you can really make a lot more money. So I think I want to make that upgrade quite a bit more expensive. Probably also same with the larger keep net, because now since those regions actually like cost money to travel to, I think it you know, definitely changes the vibe a little bit. So we'll probably also just go 3 times on that. Cheese of truth. Yeah, maybe we'll work on that. Yeah, otherwise I think we're good in here. I don't want to make things too hard, but that's why we're gonna kind of run through the game a little bit. I probably won't get to it today, but one of the things I would like to implement soon is like hey, Satellix, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. How's it going? What's going on? What were you up to today in your stream? Welcome in, everybody. Yeah, we're just getting started on some Lured In stuff. Just tweaking some of the cost scaling values on these upgrades. But yeah, we've been drawing a bunch of fish. I think all those guys are in now. We got like a salmon and all these other guys. We're gonna do like a couple more, and then I think it's update time. Working on NPC behaviors. Nice. They patrol outside, then go eat and drink and rest if they need to. Nice. Yeah. Kind of like how like, or yeah, even that's kind of beyond what like Stardew Valley NPCs do. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Nice. Yeah. I think stuff like that really adds a lot of like life. Like if you've got like a town scene with a bunch of guys walking around, if they're like actually doing things, I think it's really great. So yeah. Want to have a living system for it, like Hitman but cheaper? Yeah. That'd be super cool. Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see more of what you got going on. Yeah, to be honest, it's been, I need to like pop in your streams more. I feel bad. I don't actually know much about the game you're working on. But yeah, I need to take a look at that. Sounds really cool though. Also, do I never have expectations? Yeah, I do appreciate that. Yeah, it's always one of those things where like, it's just unfortunate with the schedule timing, right? Because I like start right as you're ending, so I never really get a chance to raid in, but yeah, one of these days I'll have to just pop in if I get some free time. Just watch. Yeah, that sounds really cool. But yeah, we're gonna be getting this update ready to go. I did upgrade to Godot 4.6, and I've been vibing with it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, the new UI is definitely a bit different now. It's like dark mode. It's not blue anymore. It's kind of like how Unity and stuff looks. But I think I kind of like it. It does, one nice thing about it is you get like a much more neutral, like, color perception. Because when everything's blue, sometimes I think I tend to make things like overly, orange to contrast or whatever. So it's been kind of nice to get a more neutral, like now it makes me realize like, wow, this is like very blue. It's not like a bad thing, but it's just interesting how like I start to see things kind of for what they really are with the different colors. So yeah. But yeah, let's look at our list we had going on here. So we did the walleye, eel. We did do the salmon, which is now a sockeye salmon. So yeah, we got 5 here, then 3 on each of these, lake and river. I'd like to do at least 1 more on each, I think. We can do a catfish, that should be pretty easy, and then maybe a largemouth bass. It's a wild thought, just how much the color of your tool's UI may affect color choice. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, I never really thought about it before, but like now that I actually have been using the gray UI, it's definitely kind of changed things, honestly. Also, I've noticed that like in the editor too, like the script editor, I feel like it's like kind of almost easier to like tell the colors apart. I know it sounds kind of wacky, but like before when the background's blue, it's like over time you're like, it's a real thing that happens. Like my blue cones are receiving more strain, and so they start to kind of weaken. Now like all the things in here that are blue are like very obvious. It's kind of nice. I think it's, yeah, definitely, I can see the reason they decided to make that change. Even the green stuff too, I feel like just is like instantly more like, obviously I could tell before, but it's like just more instant in my head. Also like some of the things they did too, like just, this isn't necessarily from the UI coloring, but like now these are a different color instead of strings, which is actually really nice. Because before they just kind of blend in with everything. But now it's more obvious what's going on there. Yeah, sometimes when you get just the right color balance, everything resolves faster. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. I know some people are like a little grossed out by the gray, but I don't really mind it. And I think it's a good thing. Because honestly, all the other UI that I use anyways is gray like that. Like Blender is gray. I think it's a good move. It's kind of like, why not be consistent with every other tool, you know? I think it's just good. It makes Godot feel more like professional, I guess, in a way. I mean, not that it wasn't, but you know, because like Obsidian is gray. But it's nice because if you don't like it, you can still do the blue. If you go into like your editor settings, you can change your theme if you want, which I've always really appreciated that. Not that I would ever use anything other than the regular, but you can go to color preset, and the last one, this is the solarized, and this is what it used to look like once it loads. It takes a minute. See, it looks so blue. It doesn't even doesn't even seem real. I don't know. Is that really what it was? It just seems like fake now. I don't know. It's really weird. But I'm pretty sure that's what it was like before. So, yeah. But yeah, definitely like, I like the extra contrast with the darker gray. It's one thing I'm so infinitely envious of as a Unity dev. I can only change between light and dark. Ah, yeah. I really like how Godot, like the UI is and stuff, because Godot's UI was made with Godot, which I think is always like really cool. because it means that like it's a good like eating whatever it's called, like eating your own dog food, where it's kind of like Godot proving itself that it's capable of doing UI stuff, and I think that's great. It also means that like since it's using that system that's super customizable, all the UI is super customizable, right? You can change the colors and the spacing and all this stuff. So there's even a contrast slider. I didn't even realize that. Does that make everything darker? Wow. That's kind of neat. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's a little bit too crazy for me. I mean, it's kind of a vibe. I'm like programming in the void, but nah, I think defaults are pretty good. Yeah, super powerful relationship between it and its own UI. Yeah, I think it's really cool. But yeah, had a good time with Godot. Very excited to keep using it. Still so many like more things I could learn and get better at. Yeah, let's go ahead and I guess draw some fish. So we got this guy. I've been just drawing these on like this big board here because I think it really helps a lot in terms of just making sure that these fish are all like in scale to each other. So it's been good for that. I did a lot of reskins of these fish, like the bluegill and the minnow. I think some of the sizing was a little inaccurate. Same with the bass. I think they're all looking pretty good now. This is the walleye. We got the salmon here. So let's do the next two on here. I want to do the catfish and the largemouth bass. So we got the channel catfish, which is this funny little guy. Well, he's not a very little guy. It's a golden fish. Oh yeah, we can flesh, we can do a cheese fish perhaps, just as a quirky little rare guy that you can find. Something that's always been very fascinating, just looking at all these different fish, like species and stuff, is that it's kind of insane the range in terms of size of how big these fish can be. Because like this is the same fish as like this fish. It's kind of wild to think that like they multiply their size by like 10 times. It's pretty insane. It's also made it a little bit hard to like actually draw them because it's hard to like get a good sense of how big these guys actually are. Like I think most of them are this size or smaller. Like I'd say this is probably more accurate. I've caught catfish in real life before. So they're not like these ones are kind of anomalies. I don't think catfish usually get this big, so it's also interesting how much their like patterns can vary too. Like it's insane because some of these channel catfish are very gray looking and then others are super vibrant and green, and it's like it's kind of crazy because I look at one reference and I look at another and it looks like a different fish and I'm like, whoa. But yeah, I just have to kind of make my best guess, I suppose, and be like, this is probably how it looks. Because yeah, a lot of them I think vary depending like on the local region they're in and what they eat and stuff. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, like this guy's insane. It's crazy how big catfish can get. I've never seen any catfish like this size before. I mean, these are kind of, I feel like this is not a very common size. Like we can look up, I mean, 40 to 51 pounds. Are they actually that big? Like, I don't know. Because I mean, that's like their maximum size, but are they actually going to end up being that big on average? Yeah, they average like 16 to 24 inches. Yeah, like some of them get that big, but I don't know if that's like a very, you know, common occurrence. It's hard to say. Yeah, average channel catfish weigh between 2 to 4 pounds, so significantly smaller. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that some animals like that just keep growing forever if they don't die. And they just get enormous. Like, imagine that happened to humans. You're like 90 years old and you're like 50 feet tall. It'd be insane. Yeah, let me read all the things I missed in here. Yeah, true for precision, you have to probably make multiple versions. Yeah. I mean, there are games that do that where like you catch a one that's smaller, one that's bigger, and maybe I'll kind of look into something sort of like that in the future just for fun. But I don't think I need to bother with that right now. Can we get a zebra turkeyfish sprite? What is that? Whoa. Oh yeah, the lionfish. It'd be pretty epic. I do want to do a lionfish. Once we get into the ocean region, we'll start diving into these guys. But yeah, these guys are a classic. This is inviting, tripling your art workload. Yeah. Yeah, if I did that, I don't think I'd actually redraw every single fish. Like, I'd probably just kind of scale them a little bit. But, you know. Because most games do that, like web fishing. When you get a big fish, it's just big. They just scale it up. These fish, it's insane how big the fish you can catch are sometimes in this game. You can literally just catch a whale and it's like as big as the entire island. It's kind of wild. And like these guys are just enormous. And then when they're in the tank, it's just ridiculous. They don't even, doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's just wild. But yeah, that's always like a possibility to just kind of do that vibe. I don't think I'm not going to scale things up that big to where they're as big as the entire island or whatever, but you know, a little bit of variation wouldn't be too bad, I guess. It's the sockeye salmon. But yeah, it's pretty insane. Also, Vish57LE, welcome in. Kind of hilarious to have a massively skeleton fish that takes up the whole tank. Yeah. I would like to eventually do like really big fish, like a shark or something that's huge, but like, yeah. I guess there's a certain limit where it just starts to get a little stupid. So, but yeah, catfish I imagine will be about the size of these guys. Like they're all just kind of medium-sized fish. The pike's really big. The eel's long. He's not like super thick, but somewhere around like the size of this guy would probably be fine. I could literally just copy this sprite and kind of like use it as a guide, right? Let's figure out what's going on here. It's my little reference image. Get rid of that. And let's just start modifying. So catfish don't have any extravagant fins. I am going to specifically call this one a channel catfish, and that's because there's a lot of variation with catfish. There's like a lot of different subspecies, so I feel like it kind of makes sense to specify which. A lot of these fish, honestly, are very like similar looking. In terms of the positions of their fins and stuff. It's kind of interesting. It's almost like they all stemmed from one shared organism or something. It's crazy. Yeah, let's see. Catfish. So They have the really long, like, these things, right? So I think I'll include that. They have one fin here that goes up. Kind of like that. They've got fin down here like that. We've got another little fin right here. And then another fin here. All right. Let's just color all this in. It's very noisy right now. We'll redo all the coloring. Catfish are not super interesting in terms of their, you know, coloring, so. It's pretty close. They have a little thing back here. Maybe we could make him a little bit larger. I think they're a little bit, just a tiny bit thicker than the walleye are. Just kind of grab all of this and raise it up. Sort of like that. This isn't too far off. Let's see here. Yeah, the blue catfish can be crazy. So there's two different kinds. I believe this is not a channel catfish. I know it says it, but as far as I can tell, channel catfish are usually more brown, greeny, olivey. And then these guys are the blue ones. Because these guys look pretty blue to me. I wonder if it's one of those things where, like, you know, kind of just you lump everything into the term channel catfish because they're in a channel. But yeah, I guess we'll do this guy. I believe these ones are much smaller than the blue ones. The blue ones are the ones that get enormous. So yeah, I feel like there's a decent reference image. Okay, so they have a white belly. Nice fish do. Let's fix that. Yeah, I was talking about this last stream, but it's hard to make their face look so soulless. Because real fish, they don't like have eyelids, so they just have a blank stare, right? But it's hard with pixel art because I can't, like, there's like a specific ratio I feel like of, because I was talking about this, of like iris to pupil. You know, it's got to be almost kind of like this, where it's like that. But I don't know how I'm supposed to like represent this visually with pixel art, because I could do like my choices are 1 pixel of black, or I add like that on the outside, and I just don't know, like, I don't know. For some of these guys, I do the little outline iris thing, typically for the fish that have larger eyes. But like, again, it's really hard with these guys because he's kind of like that size range where he's sort of like in between. Where it's hard to say like which one looks better. So I don't know. Also, something I need to do for this is usually catfish, like their heads are kind of low because they're bottom feeders, so I want to kind of like push it back a little, down a little bit. Fish do have eyelids. Humans just can't comprehend them. Do they even have eyelids? Let's look it up. Man, I don't think they do. Yeah, most fish don't have eyelids. I mean, why would they even need them, I guess? Because they're just continually in water. Yeah, they might have like these. It's like a thin, transparent eyelid. But I don't think they have it in the sense of like a human eyelid. Yeah, like these. Like sharks or whatever probably have it. Make all the sprites 4 times the size. Shrink them to half pixels. Yeah, that looks... I love mixels. They're so yummy. That's what a laser artist would do. Nah, I think I can get the idea across. I mean, it's tricky, but I think that's part of the fun in drawing the sprites, is figuring out how to represent things. So... see, this fin is actually pretty sizable. Okay, I think this is pretty much good for the profile on this guy. Let's see. Hi, new to the stream. Welcome in. Thank you for the speed. I appreciate it. This is too big over here. The double speed. Thank you, thank you. I think this needs to go back a little bit. Kind of like that. I think this is good. Let's go in and do like his you know, stuff in here. Yeah, it's interesting how different and also the exact same fish are. You know? Like, they all have the exact same profile of, like, you know, gill thing around their head. Usually they have fins in the same areas. Like, they always have this back fin. Like, a little one underneath their body somewhere. You know? And they're all kind of structured the exact same way. That's kind of interesting. There's not really like a whole lot of variation. I mean, maybe there is, and I'm just that these guys don't, but yeah, I mean, that is the way it works, right? They all stemmed from a common ancestor, so they're all going to be kind of similar. But yeah, it's just interesting. Is there going to be jellyfish? I would like to, yeah. I think there will be. Once we get into the ocean regions and stuff, we'll probably start to work on stuff like that. Because I think it would be fun. Their tail fins are pretty much brown. I have to figure out the outlining situation here, because yeah, I want to mix in a little bit of both here. Let's see. And this is like, oh, that is our dark brown. No worries. Oh, what type of game is this? This is Lured In. It's an idle fishing game. So you head out to different regions, collect a bunch of fish, bring them back, and then put them in your aquarium and make passive income. So let's do that. Most of this stuff can be this color. Maybe here we actually do a little bit of like that. These are all brown. You do have a little bit of variation in their thin colors. Like these ones are kind of more of a bluey green. Same with this one actually. And then they have a lot of like spots. Okay. Let's just do the outlining down here. Some of these will be outlined. Let's do that one there, and then the fins, they kind of like get darker at the edges actually. Almost kind of like that. So maybe we do sort of a little bit of transition into here. Something around like that. Dungeon game updated. Let's go. Yeah, welcome in, Ashik. Yeah, did that help the thing I figured out, or did it end up fixing the problem? It seemed like it fixed it for me when I was testing it. But yeah. It's hard to, I think, like that, yeah. It's kind of similar to like back here. They have like that. Same with this guy. I think this is pretty close. Some of these dots, I think, are a little darker. It's kind of random. I think that's possibly a channel catfish, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I think it'll work. You know, there's a lot of color variation, but just sort of like choosing the average of it all. I think this is mostly accurate. All right. Let's resize to 18. Channel catfish. PNG. All right, so one more fish, and then let's start working on balancing upgrades and stuff. So let's do another river fish. Let's do the largemouth bass. He's a pretty specific guy. This is a pretty good reference. Yeah, they look about the same. And again, just like with every other fish in the universe, there's always some of them are enormous and then some of them are not. Thank you for the hydrate. But I feel like this guy's a pretty good reference. Mainly green. Sometimes with these fish, I like to just do this, where I paste it in and just use it as a reference, because it's a lot easier. Like this. This guy is somewhat big. These guys consistently seem to be pretty sizable. I mean, this one's smaller, but like... And also, a lot of these images are probably a little skewed, because people are only going to be taking pictures of big fish, right? If you catch a normal largemouth bass, are you going to upload it somewhere? So it's like, I think it's easy to get a skewed sense of the actual scale. But we can just look at what their actual size is. Like 12 pounds, so they definitely are heavier on average than the catfish. So like, I would say they're probably somewhere around that size, I imagine. There's so much variation, but you know, you gotta choose something. Yeah, they definitely, I think, like, I don't see any of these images in here where they're not big. Like, so I definitely assume that they're larger on average. So we're gonna go with this. And again, I'm also not like super worried about being 100% accurate with these sizes. Like, obviously I want it to be close, but you know, it's fine if it's a little off. Like, it's just a video game. So... But I'd like somebody to be able to play the game and be like, yeah, that's actually how they look in real life. I'm a fisherman, and I know about fish. Well, add koi fish? I did add koi fish, actually, already. I'll show what they look like. Is there red herring yet? Not yet. That would be a epic one to add. Oh, what does this say? There's no fish called red herrings? Oh. So red herring is not actually a fish. It's, they just take herring and make it, into like a specific curing process. So, that's interesting. There's no such thing. Yeah. But there's regular herring. They're pretty boring guys. I think they're ocean fish, so we'll have to get to that later on. Atlantic herring. I mean, again, there's probably a billion different variations, but, yeah. Okay. Just kind of going through, and it's a little tricky to tell where things start and end. Whoa. What did I open here? I think I don't know how this happened. Interesting. Okay. I think their body goes down to here. And then they have a fin sort of around here. Like that. They have these fins here. And I think that's mostly everything. Of course, I did it on the same layer. Also, yeah, here's the koi fish. I think I accidentally recolored something on here. It's like more yellow than it should be, but yeah. Magikarp. If I want to get sued. Yeah, I don't know. I probably won't add anything in that's like branded like that, because I am a little worried about the legality of it, but it would be funny. We could do something that's basically a Magikarp, but just called something different. But, you know, strongly reminiscent. That would be fine. Yeah, I'm always kind of careful about that. Like, unless I actually have explicit permission, like I did with like the characters from Brain Not Working, Picune Dreams. But yeah, otherwise, don't want to get in trouble. Nintendo wouldn't sue over a fish. Are you sure? They've sued over less before. All right, let's start outlining. Yeah, I always try and be careful about legality of stuff because if I get sued, it's over. Well, there's nothing I could really do. There's no way I could ever fight it, at least. I'd have to just be like, okay, I'll do whatever I need to because I have no choice. Because it costs like $1 billion. Tail's a heart. It does kind of look like a heart. Yeah. I guess this is how their tails look. They're sort of... Yeah, because this is what I'm looking at here. They're sort of rounded. Maybe not quite this rounded, but we could do like this, and then this might make more sense. I kind of like do like, obviously this isn't the right color, but like that. Okay, let's start filling in all his stuff. So we got the belly, the classic. And that goes up to like about here. It kind of like rises up. And then he's got it's kind of interesting. It goes almost like that and then back. I'm not sure how it works, but is there a chance to catch trash? Not yet, but I could easily do that. Yo, thank you for the spin. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. I could just add a trash item. It would be kind of funny if you put garbage in your tank. It like would barely make you any money. But you know, maybe it's like your first ever catch. This looks to be about accurate. They're very like a very specific profile. Now they have pretty big eyes, so we're gonna do. I just wonder if we should do like. Is it eye red? Kind of. Okay, it's like an ambery. It's orange. All right. Is this a sprite sheet? This sprite sheet's a mess. This is just a temporary drawing zone, and then I'm gonna transfer these guys over to their own, you know, actual assets. And they have like a pretty big mouth. Almost kind of like that. Maybe we could feed trash to your fish for an income boost. Yeah. Want to catch a Starground plushie? Yo, let's go. That'd be awesome. I could totally see adding stuff in like that because really there's no rules. I can do whatever I want. So yeah, why not? And their fins here are actually kind of fascinating. They're like gray mostly, but then they have kind of like gray-green, and then they have these little yellow stripes. Kind of like that. That's like the only place where it's like that. Also, these front fins over here are pretty sharp. They're like teeth. So let's extend this out by one like that. Yeah. And this will probably be mostly dark in here. Actually, sort of like that. Almost like that, actually. Thomas Games, yeah, welcome. All right, so we got the green zone. They almost have like a line of kind of a gray bluish, like strip down the center. Kind of like the top half center, like here. Like that. Thank you for the cheese, Tom. I appreciate it. And now let's start filling this in with real colors. Oh boy. All right. Kind of like that. And then most of it here. Let's place all this. Oh my goodness, guys. I think it's time for this. Look at what you've done. It's okay. More? No, I think we're good, guys. Let's see, we got these. Then sort of like along here, they've got these darker, like this. Thank you for the clear cheese. I appreciate it. Also, I feel like this is just, they're like a little bit too long. Let's shorten them just a tad. All right. For Thomas, thank you. No. Who would have guessed that somebody would immediately do it? Yeah. Let's see, kind of like that. Then we'll do sort of a shadow region under here. Okay. Yeah, the top part of them is pretty dark green like that. And their fins up here, sort of like a brighter, it's more translucent. And their head is pretty brown. They do have a lot of colors going on their head. They have like a thing here. Gets kind of dark over here near their like nose area. Sort of like a little bright around the lips. Almost kind of gray in here, actually. Oh yeah, let's get rid of the the double thing now. How do I do pixel art in Krita? I just zoom in. There's not really any secret to it or anything, so yeah, I got rid of these by accident. But yeah, Krita's okay for pixel art. I mean, if you're gonna do pixel art, I wouldn't necessarily recommend Krita. It's not a super great option for pixel art, but I just like it because I can do any art in it, you know? I don't have to just do pixel art stuff. I mean, Krita is probably, if you're wanting to do just pixel art, the one I would recommend. But, did I say Krita? I'm just, sorry guys, I'm lost in the sauce. Ace Sprite. Ace Sprite is the one, guys. But really, I think at the end of the day, it just depends on what you enjoy using the most. There's no right or wrong. Each program has its own pro and con. Pros and cons, multiple of them, not just one. So, just depends on what you're looking for, I think. How do you make it snap? I have a specific brush set up for it. There's a, you can duplicate one of these brushes, go over to your brush options, and then there's, I think it's in sharpness. You can enable a line brush preview outline to pixel grid. If you enable that, it will make the brush like snap to the pixel grid like this. So it works pretty well. But yeah. See, this is like plenty here, really. Kind of goes into like a darker zone here. And they also do have like a darker patch along here. All right. We can just kind of go through and do scales now, probably. We've got these fins here. And then these guys. Those are a little bit too dark. Probably go with like... Those kind of blend in a little bit too easily. Don't really like that. That'll work. Yeah, and these tend to get dark here. Well, not that dark. These are the ones that get dark, really. Then maybe these kind of like fade into like a little bit of a darker green. All right. And these colors are a little bit overdone, but I think it's okay. I kind of think it's cool when they're colorful and vibrant. All right, so scales over in here. They do have a patch here that's kind of green. And the way I do scales in this, since it's just too small scale, is I just do like dithering essentially, right?
It's
having a hard time. It just kind of gave up. Interesting. That doesn't really do that there. Yeah, it tried a little bit. Yeah, kind of like this, and then
fish.
Maybe there's a. There we go, fish. These guys do have a little bit of a bright sparkle. Yeah, I think something along these lines is mostly right.
Help, I'm being tormented.
Crazy. All right, I think this is pretty close. Let's just go through and start doing some epic outlines. Like along here, I'll do this. This guy could do...
Help guys, I'm stuck in Chip's basement. He's forcing me to comment Big Boy 168 Plink.
Crazy. It's not real, guys. Don't listen to him. Totally not real. Okay, there's our bass.
Same.
Yeah, I think this is good enough. Yeah, if anybody has any problems, they can take it up to HR or whatever. I don't care. All right. Only thing I would do here, though, is like some of these are a little bit like need a little bit more darkness. Yeah. But I think that works pretty well.
Hello, I'm HR. I too am in his basement.
Crazy. Why would I ever put HR in my basement, guys? I would never do that. Oops. So this fin is kind of not really this color. Like, it should be more of like a brown. More like this, really. And it kind of also has like stripes on it, but you know, it gets to a point where I don't know how else I'm supposed to represent it, so it's good enough. Okay, we got all the fish.
Big Boy 168 default dance. Big Boy 168
Oh,
default
God.
dance. Big Boy 168 cheese. Big Boy 168 cheese. Big Boy 168 Herobrine. Big Boy 168 Herobrine. Big Boy 168 Herobrine. Big Boy 168 Macro Birpit. 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 Big Boy 168 Plink. Big Boy 168 Plink. Big Boy 168 Plink. Big Boy 168 Plink. Big Boy 168 Trio of Wisdom. Big Boy 168 default dance. 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 Big Boy 168 default dance.
Oh my God, it keeps going. Okay. That's crazy. Oh man. CLI fish. Largemouth bass. Now this guy's pretty heavy. I'll probably give him a weight of 3. So let's see, compared to, I have to think about the region he's in and stuff, right? So we got the Northern
Hello, I'm
Pike.
HRBBG, short for Big Boy Games, has put me in his basement so your messages won't reach me. Ouch ouch, it hurts a lot. He also put bone hurting juice and I can't
only
stop
give
drinking
you guys
it.
bone hurting juice in the basement, yeah. Pretty crazy. What's the what do we want to do for the little blurb for the largemouth bass? He is the river one, right? Yeah. Catfish. Is Ellie the go? What's up, Frisco? Yeah. Yeah, the music is pretty fire. I gotta listen to more. Yeah, I listen to 5/7 or 5/7, whatever it is, but pretty cool. Yeah, as opposed to smallmouth, exactly. Five sevenths, yeah. Yeah, pretty fire. Learning on the piano, let's go, nice. Change the sprite here to largemouth bass. This one is channel catfish. Okay. This guy's gonna be a little lighter. A little less income. As opposed to dogfish. All right. I think we're good. So over into the regions table. Fish have YouTube channels. Hey guys. Welcome back to Channel Catfish. Let's go to regions table. All right, so the lake Maybe it doesn't make 100% sense that there's a channel catfish in a lake, but who cares, guys? I can always kind of swap these around and reorganize a little bit, you know? So, like, it's not a big deal. I'll make him a little more rare. Then down here we got the, also, this is wrong. Should be sockeye. Oh, largemouth bass. Yeah. Oh, you just redeemed positive check? Sorry, my apologies. Ugh. Ah, my back's really sore. Okay, we got all the fish in here. It took eons. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. So we could also do the channel catfish appearing in a river too. But maybe a little less common. I'm really gonna have to balance all these. Like, there's a lot of values assigned to all this stuff, you know? Because we've got the passive value, the instant, like, hash value and stuff. So it's a lot, but I think, yeah, we'll figure it out. So let's go ahead and experiment with this. I just kind of want to feel out the speed of progression just for, like, a minute. Because I don't want to make the game too boring, you know? Let's go down to Godot. App user data. Lured in. Delete the game data. Alright. Can you add a mod editor where they can make sprites? Yeah. I do want to do modding stuff because I think it would be pretty cool. I don't think I'll be adding any of that stuff, blocks and animals and sushi. It's not a... It's a very specific game. It's not Minecraft. But definitely people can mod and fish. It's one of those things that where I would like to start messing with, so hopefully eventually we'll do that. It's becoming advertising. It's fine. If you got a link or whatever, you can paste it in chat. I don't really mind. See we catch. That was a minnow. He gets a little crushed in the keep net. Might have to figure that one out. I got 3 links, website, itch, and GitHub. Yeah, whatever. Just if you want to paste a link to the store page, is probably the best thing. So the H link. I think I increased the cash value of most of these fish. I keep getting a lot of minnows. These little tiny guys. Yeah, I need to do like some kind of calculation for determining the ratio of each image because it looks a little silly when they get crushed like that. I wonder if it does that inside of like the inventory. I'm not really sure. So I got a goldfish. Let's get like a few more. Gonna update the Ichigo pages. Yeah, that's all good. Won't with them. Pretty epic. I'll have to check that out later. Fish caught. There's other fish here, right? No, there is. There's like the koi fish. They're just rare. That's the whole point. That's why they're rare. It's epic when you get them. Be fine. Oh, almost didn't pay attention. And I would eventually like to start kind of assigning like difficulties to these fish as well. I got a bluegill. Oh, that's a bug. I filled up my keep net, but there's no return button for some reason. I don't know why. Might have just not actually done it properly with this. I think I need to say before I toggle it on, keep net full is true. And then if I go back into fishing region, then our keep net full script. Yeah, I say full's true. Hopefully that'll fix that. Oh, I did just end it like that. I know there's a little mini game. Are you going to Steam it? Yeah, put on Steam. I think I definitely will, for sure. I think the plan right now is for a summer launch. So yeah, that's the idea. I was looking if I show my old Scratch project. That's a clicker game. That's fine. Yeah. All right. But yeah, after catching like a few of these guys, you can afford the tank now. Before it took like a little bit too long, I feel like, to actually like make enough money to buy the tank. I probably will even increase those amounts even a little bit more on how much do they sell for, so. We got an ad starting soon. My apologies, gamers. Just love watching them all. I appreciate it. Yeah, 3 projects on the go and all heading to finished projects. Congrats. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I think it's been going really well, honestly. I mean, of course, it's a lot to juggle, and I'm pretty busy, but I think I'm still able to get a lot of work done on each one. I know we haven't been really streaming a lot of Starground, but I have been working on that in the background. Next update's not anything super interesting or flashy. I'm working on importing the research system from this game into Starground, so just kind of working on stuff like that in the background. I just caught a carp. And he's all squished. But yeah, I want to get more games out on Steam. I think it's going to really help in terms of like my financial stability, so I'll wait a minute before I start chatting about this stuff, but it'd be funny if we had a fish based on a bottle. Oh yeah. Good. Okay, let's see if it shows the return button and stuff. I hope it works. Let's see when I catch this fish. Here we go. I missed it. Boom. Yeah, so now it says full. I can't exit out of it. I can't press escape. I just hit return. And return is broken. It's not a big deal. I'm sure I just messed something up by accident. Oh, I didn't even... I guess it got disconnected or something. I just connected to nothing? Oh, right, because it was connected originally up to... Okay. So we need to do this. We connect that up to that. And then here we say... I think there needs to be some change in the traveling menu, because currently you just instantly travel and you don't see the money particles until you already have a destination. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could do like a little bit of a delay between pressing, like buying it and then actually like transitioning. I could look into that. I thought I had a function in here for like returning. Sure I do. Toggle. Yeah, return pressed. Okay, I mean, all it is just change region to aquarium, so I could just do it in here. So now if I hit return, it's not going to update because now that signal's not connected, but whatever, we hit this return and it works. All right, so we got a bunch of fish now. This guy sells for much more, so let's sell the minnow because I don't care about him. And then now we got a tank. Let's put the carp in there because they're worth quite a bit. So yeah, now we're raking in the dough. It's pretty slow right now, but we'll start to speed up. So yeah, I think that we're definitely going to need to make a change to the way, like, the price of the research. It's a little bit too much money, I think, because our cash flow is pretty slow until we actually get these unlocked. So I think I want to decrease the cost of this quite a bit. It should still be kind of a milestone upgrade of like, okay, now I get to do a bunch of new fun epic things, but like, shouldn't be that expensive. Where is it? Upgrade research. But yeah, anyways, on that thought, I was just saying, yeah, I definitely would like to have a lot more games up on Steam actively, because I think that's kind of like the secret to making it sustainable game development. Because yeah, I could spend years on one game and really hope that it does super well, but it's just it's too much of a risk, you know. And I kind of felt that a little bit with Starground. I mean, of course, Starground has paid off, like it's done well, but it's always kind of a coin toss. I mean, yeah, there's things that tell you how well a game is gonna do. Like you've got wish lists, obviously, and stuff like that, and it's helpful. But it's not like those things are a guarantee. It's not like just because I have a bunch of wish lists means I'm going to, it's going to be a success. That's just not the case, right? So, but if I do a bunch of tiny games and I put them up on Steam, it's no longer putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm like diversifying. I'm multiplying my chances for something to like pop off and do well, right? Which is I think an important thing. So okay, so we got that going. Now we can go into like the research table. Yeah, that's why I want to get Lurd in and Deadlift up this year. Maybe Starground this year too. I'm aiming for it, but Starground's kind of like, I don't see any reason to rush that game. There's no trends that I have to hop on or anything like that. I think the more time I give it, the better. Like, I think it's the kind of thing where it's like, you know, I wanna really refine things and make it a very solid experience before I just push it out. Because there's, yeah, like I'm saying, there's really no no reason to rush Starground, I think. Let's exit out of the game and load these new values. I went to, let's see, my screen froze on top of Twitch bar on the top. It's a Twitch bar and the scratch bar. Oh, that's pretty weird. That's quite odd, yeah. Don't know what's going on with that. Okay, so now this is like 20 bucks, and I feel like that's very achievable once you get a tank going. I mean, I haven't been waiting that long, and now I can unlock research. So I think around that mark is pretty good. It gives you enough time to kind of get familiar with like go on a couple fishing trips and understand how to add fish to the tank and stuff. And then you can unlock this and now start dabbling with the research. So marketing is the cheapest one. I think I kind of want that to like be the first thing people get, because that allows you to start getting more customers and multiplying your income. So it's pretty important. Yeah, let's go fishing. And I need to make it so those other regions are actually locked. Right now, they're not locked. I just haven't set that up in the code right now to, like, make them not visible when there's locked research. That should be really easy to do. What do you use to make the game? Yeah, I use Godot. Yeah, they look kind of more similar now with the new UI change, but yeah, Godot is what I've been using. I've messed with Unity. It's fine. Some people really like Unity, and I think that's great. Just use whatever engine you like, but I very much enjoy Godot. It's been a good time. So yeah. Multiplayer has been relatively... I mean, obviously it's a pain. Multiplayer is never going to be easy, but it's nice that Godot has systems built in for it. So, you know, I always appreciate that. I know Unity does have that, but like the engine I was using before Unity or Godot was GameMaker. And GameMaker is just oddly hands-on. It's a little frustrating. It's just very difficult to do anything in GameMaker, so yeah. Alright, we got some more fish. So yeah, now we can, like, tank's full, which is fine. Oh, also, that's a bug I need to fix. I pressed escape to get out of that menu, but I still, like, have a fish active also. Yeah, these guys are broken and their colors are off, so we need to fix that too. That shouldn't be that big of a deal. But yeah, now I can afford a researcher. That's gonna start making me some research. So let's fix a couple of these things. First off, when we click on move to tank and press escape like that, it should reset my cursor. So let's go into our choose a fish menu or whatever it's called. Add to tank. I want to say on a function changed. We call super, and then if not status, we say cursor right here. Return to RPG Maker. I've looked into it. I think it's a very good engine for a very particular kind of game, right? Like if you're making a JRPG, I think it's perfect for that. But it's definitely a little limited in a lot of ways. It's fine. Like I think it's a specialized engine and it does a thing very well, and if you're making that kind of game, then I think it's great. But if you're trying to kind of branch out more, if you want something more multi-purpose, I don't think RPG Maker is where it's at, in my opinion. But you know, it's not a bad thing. I just think it depends on what kind of game you want to make, you know? So. The dude I watch uses it with a Java plugin, does some amazing things with it beyond RPGs. Yeah, there is like, I mean, you can spend a lot of time modifying it, and like, I know there is the possibility to do custom code and stuff, so, you know, it's definitely capable of those things, but I guess it's just sort of a question of like, is it worth it to spend the time doing those things? Like to make a Java plugin just so that you can achieve what you can do right off the bat with Godot, right? You know, and there's no right or wrong answer to that question. It just depends on what you want. For me, I don't really want to have to work so hard to add in that functionality, which is the reason I like Godot. Because Godot is just very nice and multi-purpose. I can make any kind of game in Godot. It might require a little bit more initial setup. Like if I'm making an RPG, I'll have to get all the systems set up for it. But I really like that customizability with Godot, where I can modify things really easily without having to, like, you know, do Java plugins. Also, I don't really like Java. Java is fine, but it's very slow. The garbage collection causes a lot of problems. I probably wouldn't want to use Java. Can you add a fish? I made Yeah, you can send it on the Discord server. I'll look at getting around to that. Okay, so if we've closed this tank, I want to go ahead and say global.aquarium.cursor dot, and then in here we can set the texture and everything. I don't know why this is complaining. Oh, it's because I broke everything. So icon dot sprite is equal to null. So now if I close this, yeah, you can see it'll cursor.icon.sprite. Oh, .texture. I mean, whoops. So boom, if I go into here, move to take escape, now my cursor goes back to default. So it works pretty well. I don't know why this is still visible over here though. It's a little odd. Like if I go travel and then come back, it should only be appearing when I have a fish in my hand. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. Also, if I like click on a, okay, yeah, this should reset it. So let's go look inside of the fish tank and figure out like what the code is for that or why it's not working. So, okay, it's because aquarium still has that held fish ID. Yeah, and I don't know if I have a function for setting that. Let's look for held fish ID. I think I just set that inside of here. Yeah. And I might do it in cursor. I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay, I do it there. Whatever, it's fine. We'll just do that for now. So now it should be fine if I go to add this and I hit escape. Boom. We're good. You gotta fix these guys. Yeah, that works. So let's work on these guys. Also, I think my research is going up way too fast. I already have 31 research. So all these things are accessible. I don't mind the rate at which the research is going up, but we have to balance it a little bit. I mean, let's I think we should drop the rate a little bit. So it should take a while. Let's go into the upgrades table. Everyone clip Chip saying I'm making an RPG and send it everywhere. Crazy. The RPG guys have a Godot version called Action Game Maker. Oh yeah, it's interesting. Also made you an emo for Twitch. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can send it in there. I'll check it out. I'm late, but I think that Game Maker, while trying to simplify things for new programmers, makes it harder for old programmers to do stuff. Yeah, I think that's definitely the problem they've created for themselves. Is like, I don't know. It's weird, right? Because it's obviously marketed as like a beginner engine, but then at the same time, it's like certain stuff is really, you have to do everything manually. Like, for example, doing your own like physics, like collision with walls and floors and stuff. It's just, it's a little odd. Yeah. Yeah, it does simplify a lot of stuff, but it's like, I guess that simplification almost becomes a detriment later on, I think. Right? Because, yeah, like, it becomes really annoying to do things. So. I'm going to significantly increase the costs of these research upgrades because I think, yeah, they need to be more. I mean, I've only been sitting here for a minute and I have 43 research, so. So I bought marketing. Now I can start like messing with these. And this is going to really blow up my cash per second, so. And these do start to get really expensive. Like this one doubles every time. So I think I'm going to decrease the effect on this one. Right now it's 100%. And I think this is a little bit too powerful still. Even when it doubles, it's still like very, makes things go very fast. So I'm going to drop that amount. Let's go into the upgrades table. So merchandise, let's do by 50%. And then inside of our calculation for that, go into here, merchandise. So we're multiplying it by that plus 1. I think what we want to do now is let's figure out what the how this is going to work. But yeah, let's see what's going on here. Get our engine, learn how to do programming the worst way. Yeah. I think it does kind of suck, but I think in the long term, it's better for people to just jump into real programming instead of like doing like visual based stuff. Because it's just going to be better in the long run. It ends up being much, much faster and straightforward, I think. One of my favorite rhythm games I made in GameMaker. Yeah, it doesn't mean that GameMaker is a bad engine. I mean, like, you can make really cool stuff in GameMaker. I think, like always, it just boils down to what engine do you like using the most, and that's where the argument ends, right? So, okay, so I think this will work. So level 1 said 1. Okay, no, that's not it. I think we say 1.5 to the power of x. So at level 1, we're multiplying by 1.5. Level 2 is 2.25. Level 3, I think that's right. But it seems like every level you go up, it gets really much more pronounced. It needs to be additive, not multiplicative. All right, because this is the problem that's going on here. I basically need to say 1.5 plus 0.5 plus 0.5 plus 0.5, that kind of thing. So I think I want to say 1 plus 0.5 times the level, like this. It should be like a linear increase. So when we're at level 1, it multiplies by 1.5. Level 2 should be 2.0. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to say times 1 plus 0.5 times that. And I think that's correct. So let's copy that. Go search for merchandise. Or yeah, we use that in. So I think we're good now. Yeah, we can see our cash per second has already dropped off. So let's restart here. I'm pretty sure that's the right formula, right? Let's make sure. So like 0.1 plus 1 plus 0.5 times x. No, times, I mean, like that. I was doing multiply, right? Maybe I wasn't. No, I was. Yeah, so this should be correct. That should work. Let's check this out. So yeah, it shows 50% in here. I think that seems about right. So if we upgrade this right now, theoretically, we're at 2.5 times. If we buy this again, it should only increase a little bit, which, yeah, that seems pretty good. And since this doubles each time, it really starts to kind of drop off. Like, you get a really nice initial boost, of course, but it gets to a point where it's like, okay, I can see that this is not a thing that I'll be able to keep up, which is good. This game is going to take a lot of balancing for sure, right? There's a lot that I need to kind of tweak, but I think it'll be good. And you start making a lot more money here, it almost like becomes reasonable to go to the lake, right? Because I've got like 168 per second. That's pretty good. I think I can... There's kind of not even any point in catching more fish. I could buy another tank for 100. Yeah, like if I get another tank, let's go catch more fish. But yeah, let me make sure I'm not missing everything in here. Just talking about the game. Desmos so cool. Yeah, I've always really liked Desmos. I've been using it forever, ever since I was like in high school. It's just a really helpful website. It's just a free graphing calculator, so it's great for this kind of game. Honestly, I've been using it a lot, and it's just, it helps a lot with balancing things, even with deadlift, because it lets me visually represent the way that things increase and like numbers are multiplying and stuff, and I think it's very important because I can keep tweaking the formula until it looks about how I want, and I can throw other like aspects of the game in there too, like for example, how much money I'm making, and see like how that curve increases with the upgrades I'm getting. I can do a lot of like advanced kind of relations between the two really easily. So yeah, it's very helpful. Okay. Yeah, I need to start adding in more mini games and stuff to this. I think it'll make the actual fishing a lot more fun. But look, I already got $200, so I feel like this is a pretty, so far, like a good rate of progression where I'm like, I'm buying stuff. I can, you know, put more fish in here. These guys have a pretty decent passive. Put those guys in there. Might as well put these guys in here while I have them. So yeah, I'm making like $3 a second. Once you kind of reach that spot, I think now it's like, all right, I think I could easily travel to the lake. My research has been building up in the background, so I can afford it. And yeah, I might make the researcher upgrade pretty expensive, or like ramp up really fast, right? I might even do possibly a cost scaling of like 5 or 10. Because now that I'm like playing this and kind of feeling it out, I think research should not scale up as fast as money, right? So, but yeah, now I can spend the money, travel to the lake, and we can start getting some better fish. So yeah, this is feeling pretty good so far. This is why I really wanted to kind of play through the game actually for real, because I can just kind of quickly identify some balancing, early balancing stuff like this. Oh, one nice thing about it is also works on mobile. Yeah, it does. It's very nice. I've used it a lot on my phone and stuff before. Look at that. We just got a channel catfish. I like that I added in that keep net button, because now you can actually like see what you caught. I think it's a good thing. So now that I've gone to this new zone, the keep net weight limit kind of becomes a lot more important, because every time I travel here, I'm losing $100. So, oh, I missed it. So like, if I can carry more fish back with me, it starts to become a lot more worth it. So yeah, that's the reason for that. And especially once we get like, start going to the river and stuff where it costs like $1,000 every time, it becomes very like, all right, I can see that, you know, may have to upgrade my keep net. And these guys are also a lot heavier too, so like I can only catch like 3 guys here before I have to go back. But yeah. Yeah, we'll be doing a lot more balancing. I want to get this update out and just kind of like see what people are thinking about it. It's definitely a big change in terms of like the flow of progression. Because initially, like the way it was before, it was very like fast. You get like your first tank and your first couple fish and the things just explode. But now it's much more chill. And I think I might even increase the cost scaling on this one a little bit more as well. Same with advertising, because I already have like quite a bit of money. And I don't want to make things move way too fast. Because now these guys, like this channel catfish is 0.04, so it's like... So I could actually go in here and remove some of my old stupid fish. Like these guys. Really worth a whole lot. And then move... this guy in there. just only do my most valuable fish, and he doesn't fit, unfortunately. Thought I could squeeze a goldfish in there. Also, when you go offline, you're gonna make so much money, so I do need to add like a limiter on the time spent away from the game. So let's go to these upgrades, like marketing, upgrade advertising. So yeah, let's do cost scaling of 2 on that. The merchandise, I think we'll do cost scaling of 3, because those things are like multipliers and they really increase the amount of money you make. But it's good because the first initial few upgrades are relatively affordable, and then they start getting really expensive, so. Might even like drop the initial cost. Or yeah, those are only at 5 each, so like that should be fine. And then can almost like, yeah. So I'm not quite there at river scale yet. I don't have enough research either, so I should probably buy some researchers, which actually now, yeah, that scales up like crazy. So let's restart the game. Favorite game engine is Godot Mobile. It's kind of crazy that Godot can run on mobile like that on Android. It's pretty wild. That went up to $1,000. Isn't that 10? 10 times 10 should be 100, right? Or I guess I have 3 researchers. No, I have 2. That doesn't make any sense. 0. First one should be 10. Hold on. So I buy that. It should be 10 times 10. I'm not stupid, right? 10 times 10 is 100. So why is it 1,000? Or I guess I already have... See, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so first one to get the first 0.1 is 10. And then to get the second one, it's 100. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. So if I want to get more, I can do that. So I might drop their rate of scaling just a little bit. Let's go to like 5 for the cost scaling. So that should be a lot more affordable. Let's see what we got here. It's a whole bunch of things. New fish, epic. I am a potato. Oh yeah, this is the game. Let's go. Nice. Okay. So yeah, that's 250 for the third one. I think that's pretty reasonable. And then it jumps up to 1,000, which is good. I want it to start getting expensive. Because now, once you're kind of at this point of the game, like things are a little more, you know, it can start getting up to bigger stuff. Can you actually use Godot on mobile? Yeah, I guess you can. I mean, I imagine it's not very, you know, pleasant to use, but theoretically you can, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about my tank upgrades. Yeah, let me do that. Because I can just increase my capacity on these. Actually buy another one. Yeah, I like how these scale up. They definitely scale up quick, but like you only need a little bit more to put another fish in there, so now I can squeeze another carp in here. Move this guy over to there. There's only a weight of 1, so put him in there. But yeah, I got all these guys in here. We gotta fix the scaling. Just because of the way it works right now, it's a little screwed up. Yeah, I'm making $7 a second now. Crazy. But yeah, this is an idle game, so I don't want things to get like extremely... Like eventually at a certain point, you kind of set up your tanks, get it going stable, and then you leave and come back later. It shouldn't be the kind of thing where like you can keep fishing and there's stuff to do, but what's the plan for endgame? I think we're going to go even beyond sharks and whales. I think that's kind of more mid-game, or maybe even leaning toward early game. I think the plan is we're going to go pretty crazy with it, because I don't see why not. I think we're going to kind of go through all the ocean stuff, and then you start going into caves to catch like exotic fish in the caves. Maybe even down to like the core of the earth. You're like fishing in a big lake of lava. Should be pretty epic. And then after you head down there, I think we start getting into like up into space. Maybe even in the clouds. Eventually, yeah. I wanna add space fishing. I think it'd be kind of epic. We could start traveling to different planets. The moon, Mars, you know, maybe even the sun. And then we'll probably start getting pretty abstract with it, like the void, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see. Fish the sun, yeah. Do a link if they own your other game, unlock space fishing. Yo. You could go to Viridian and fish on Viridian. That'd be crazy. Shouldn't have an hell. Yeah, stuff like that would be fun. Like, I think it's kind of also good for marketing. I mean, obviously the game starts off being a little cozy, regular fishing sim, but I like the idea of it just getting absolutely wild, because I don't think enough games do that. I've seen a lot of other fishing, you know, you go fish, or even games where you just run an aquarium, but they're very grounded, and I think there's a time and place for that. But like, I think we go crazy with it. I mean, what do you guys think? Why not? I think it'd be super cool to have like a void tank with, yeah, interdimensional like eldritch beings in your fish tanks and stuff. I think it would be kind of fun. So I'm feeling that right now. So I got some money to play with. Yeah, Cthulhu. It'd be pretty awesome. Yeah, so now I actually need to go get more fish. So yeah, going to the lake now is kind of like nothing to me. I should have gotten some keep net weight limit. Oh well. 5D fishing with multi-dimensional time travel. Yeah, exactly. So many ideas I didn't want to pitch because I didn't think this was the direction. Oh yeah. I kind of like that it's like a very misdirect kind of thing, where initially I think it's just funny. It's just like seems like a simple fishing game, but then you're going through the screenshots and the guys in space and you're like, whoa. Maybe this gets a little crazier than I thought. So I think it would be fun. Me and Psycho Boys kind of had that in the back of our minds from the very beginning of doing like really insane stuff with the game. And I think the more that I work on the game and we keep adding in new regions and stuff, I think the more I'd like to do that kind of stuff, because it's just fun and wacky. I'm always kind of the mindset of like doing things because they're cool and fun. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Doing things because they're cool and fun rather than just because it's real. Like, obviously you can't fish in space, but what if you could? So, yeah, can you fish God? Maybe. Wouldn't be opposed. Let's just say it's in the cards. Also, I really like the addition of the rare fish. Because now, like, I still haven't gotten any of them, which I think is good, because it gives me something to kind of, you know, search for. Also, I like that the small, like, the light fish, like the koi fish, are theoretically really good money makers. Because, like, obviously we got the bigger fish that are heavier and make a lot of money, but if you catch a bunch of koi fish, it's kind of, like, more optimal to fill your tank with koi. Right? Because for a weight of 2, you can get 0.1 passive income versus like these guys down here. I guess, I mean, the Northern Pike, I guess technically he would be a little more optimal, but I might even increase the value, the passive income on the koi to be just a little bit more efficient. Or no, actually, no, wait. No, it is more optimal. Because the koi's weight is 1. So 3 koi is 1.5 times better than filling your tank with pike. So yeah. But obviously koi is very rare, so you're gonna have to do a lot of fishing to actually do that. And I think that's a good thing. It gives you something to kind of optimize for. So, got one of these guys. Like the goldfish's reference in description. Yeah. It seemed to make sense. I don't know what else I would have put in there. Yeah, these guys are good. So yeah, I'm raking in the dough. I think I can kind of start going to the river now. I need to make it so the regions don't unlock, but I built up enough research. Let's get the river. And before I go, I'm going to get a little more heap net size, I think. Yeah, this scales up a pretty good amount, I think. We can get some bait. 20% more often might be a little too much now, kind of, that I've, like, felt this out. Because level 8, I mean, I'm probably going to be catching this stuff really quick. I spent all my money and now I can't afford to go anymore. Too bad. The goldfish description, it's, let me go return him to my inventory. A snack that smiles back. Yeah. Oh yeah, I could upgrade this tank a little bit. Put this guy in there. I am liking the feel of this update a lot more. I just think the progression is much better. The rate at which things improve. So let's add all these in also. There's a lot of fish that we added. I'm not going to go through every single fish. I think I'm just going to list off the quantities. How many fish did we add? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 9, 10. Yeah, 10 fish. Added 10 new fish. We did a lot of things in here. Made it so merchandise only does a 50% boost. The new fish look... Oh yeah, they're messed up. I need to go and fix them. It's because now they all have different like sprites set up, so I need to calculate their resolution and then change the lines so they don't look stupid. I am well aware. I'll fix it. There's a game theory about it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, with the speed of progression. I think it just makes a lot more sense. It's gonna kind of give you more things to do and optimize. I don't know. It's more fun. It feels like I'm like, my money's worth more. Whoa. It's funny how big the fish are getting. I mean, that's fine. They should be getting big. Oh yeah, another largemouth bass. He's a pretty big guy. I kind of don't mind if the fish are enormous compared to the player. It's fine. I would like to make it so the fishing does get a little bit harder when you're in the later zones like that, so... Oh yeah, he's got a pretty good passive. 7. Can't afford a new tank yet, but I can afford tank upgrades. Almost. I need one more upgrade to fit one in here. Yeah, like, you know, you kind of get toward more late game and it gives you an excuse to like close the game and come back later. And then once you have a bunch more money, you get better upgrades in here and it feels just better to go like... I think I'm going to drop this improved bait bonus a lot because right now it's feeling way too powerful. I'm only at level 8 and I'm basically instantly biting. Like if I go to the pond, I just like there's a minor delay, but it's like really fast. It just feels a little bit too much. So I'm going to have that, I think, to a 10%. Let's go do that. So instead of 0.8, I'm going to say 0.9. I guess that's how I can do it. Or yeah, it's different depending on... Actually, I'm calculating this wrong, aren't I? Maybe that's why it feels so incredibly powerful. Because, 0.9 to the power of x. Is that correct? No, I guess that's correct. Yeah, for something that's decreasing, I can do that. Because it becomes like a logarithmic drop-off. I think that's fine. Because 10%, then 10% of that, and 10% of that. I think that would be fine. Because then let's say our initial time is 1 at 10 upgrades. Okay, our initial time is 0.3. So that's actually incorrect. Yeah, we should do it the same way we did the other one. And then just divide it by that amount. So we say 1 plus 0.1 times x. Yeah. So now this would be the value, so we divide it by... At level 10, it should be divided by 2 for half time. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, I gotta be careful about that kind of scaling in here. So times 1 plus 0.1 times... I'll still drop it, because I think, yeah, at 10 upgrades, because that decreases the maximum time from 4 to 10, and that feels pretty good. I don't want it to, like, be way too OP. So... fixed the improved bait power scaling. It was too powerful before. Increase the effect of improved bait from 20% to 10%. And yeah, like all the ratios of scaling on the upgrades are wildly different now, but I'm not going to go through and list every single change because it's just a lot. Because I literally changed the cost scaling on every upgrade. So it's kind of insane. Yeah. I want to get working on more upgrades soon, I hope. It'd be nice. I got 3,000 bones in here now. Something I'd like to do, which I think would be like really just a fun thing, is kind of like for each region, like a bestiary of all the kind of the fish that you've caught so far in that region. Because it gives you kind of like something to aim for. I don't like how right now it seems like just immediately as soon as you unlock the new place, there's no reason to go to the other places right now. So I think like just a little bit of, you know, achievement that you can do there would be nice. So you can be like, oh, well, I still got to catch a few more fish there. Let's go do it. But yeah. So Elias Listens on YouTube, welcome in. How's it going? Waiting for the fish. Yeah, the speed of this is definitely better. I mean, obviously it's faster, but it doesn't feel insane like it was before. Nice. Got quite a few catfish going on here. Nice. Should make me many monies. Something that would be kind of epic at some point is like a leaderboard. Or most money made. I mean, I do have to be careful because obviously you could cheat pretty easily. So, not sure. I'll have to figure out some way of avoiding that. But it would be kind of fun. What was that fish? Did I just catch a walleye? Yeah, I did. Epic. And obviously achievements, we'll be working on that eventually. You know, the game's still pretty early on. We've got a while to go. It's gonna be another, like, 5 months. But it's good to start thinking about those things in the background. Ooh. Sockeye salmon. Let's freaking go. Yeah, let's go get these fish and then go fix the fish in the aquarium because they're a little broken right now. Epic. Okay. So what's good here? Yeah, the sockeye salmon is pretty mid for passive income. Largemouth bass is pretty good. Same with walleye. I need to significantly buff the value, the sell, like cash value of these fish because right now it's pretty bad. I need to do some kind of like calculation of their passive income versus like, you know, how many days would it take or whatever, or minutes of passive idling for them to be worth their cash value, and then maybe just do some kind of like ratio for that instead of manually defining these things. It would probably help. Did I start developing this game this year as a follow-up to 2025? I think... Yeah, I started working on this, like, the end of last year. Is it December? Either November or December or something. I can't remember. We sent out all the keys only in January, so really development hasn't been going on for very long on this game. I had like a little burst a while ago where I worked on it for like a week and did a lot of stuff, but then kind of, you know, worked on other stuff. But now we're sort of cycling back to it a bit more and getting things moving, so. Let's get tank capacity. I need to buy another tank. I almost have enough money. This guy, let's do that. Ooh, let's make it 20 bucks a second. I can also start getting more of these. Yeah, this game doesn't have to be... I'm not like... I don't care if this game doesn't take that long to finish. I think that's okay. Like, I'm imagining the maximum run time of this would probably be like 10 hours or like, you know, assuming active play time, I mean. But of course, I want to add in a bunch of stuff for late game. I mean, I think it's got a lot of potential for me to just keep adding new content and keep building up. But like, I'm more focused on making sure the game is fun while actively playing. I don't like it when idle games like completely rely on you always idling. I mean, obviously that's the idea. You close the game and come back to it, and you can do that in this game, but I think there should be like stuff to do, and actually you can upgrade stuff and have fun while you're actually in the game. So what motivated you to start game development? What advice would you give to aspiring indie game developers? I think the reason I do game development kind of stems from two things. I mean, first off, I just really enjoy it. I love how diverse the roles are that I get to fill. One day I can work on programming, and then the other I can draw, I can design things, I can write. There's just so many different things I get to do, and I think it's very fun. There's a lot of variety, a lot of spice compared to like working as like a software developer, because I think it's very that kind of role. Not that it's bad or anything, but I think it's a little boring. Because you do one thing, the same thing every day, and there's obviously different things that you do eventually, but like it's nothing like the variety you get with game development. And the other part of it was that, well, the software engineering industry is pretty fricked up right now, and I was not able to find any jobs after graduation, so I kind of almost was forced to do this a little bit. Not that I didn't want to, but it seemed at the moment to be kind of the best path forward, because it's either I waste a year doing nothing trying to land a job, or I just start making things and actually make money. Thank you for that. But yeah, advice I'd give to aspiring indie developers, I would say the classic: start very small, make very small games. Don't go for a big 2-year long project, because as much as it sucks, the first game you ever make is probably almost guaranteed to be terrible. And it's not a bad thing. It's just how things go. You just don't have any experience yet on how to design games, because you get a lot of technical debt. You're going to have tons of it. Your first game is going to be a mess behind the scenes, and then if you keep spending time trying to build that up more and more, it's just going to become, you know, a disaster. So I think it's important to make a small game, finish it out, you know, realize what went wrong, and then start a new one and take those lessons that you've learned. It's a big help. People don't really think about it enough, but like, you should fail fast. I know that's like a thing for just business stuff in general. The sooner you fail, the better, because then you can move on to hopefully a thing that doesn't fail even faster. So yeah. But anyways, sorry, let me see. I've missed a bunch of things. My apologies. Is there an itch or Steam page yet? Not yet. But I think I want to get working on the logo really soon. That's like one of the next things I'd like to work on. And then get the Steam page going, because yeah, it's about time I think we start building up wish lists and doing devlogs and stuff. Oh, or there'd be different types of fishing, like dynamite fishing, gun fishing, spear fishing. Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't be opposed to stuff like that. I'll just have to think about how it would make sense gameplay wise. Like, maybe just different regions have different mechanisms for how you fish, and that would be pretty fun. So definitely look into that kind of stuff. Can make it so people can cook the fish for food. Maybe. I don't know if I'm gonna go down that route, because there's already a lot of games that do that. I think like Dave the Diver does that, where you can process your fish and make food, and it's cool. But I just don't know if it's really the type of game I'm making here, right? Because I don't know if it's really ever going to compare to just passive income in your aquariums. And yeah, it would be like a much later on, maybe a TLC or something, but I wouldn't, probably not going to do that right now. Yeah, game industry is also pretty fricked up. Yeah, it's too bad. Yeah, I mean, it would be cool to get a job just at a studio, but like, it's almost impossible. I think, I don't know. In times like this, I think it's important to create your own work when you can't really land anything. So that's kind of the route I've been going. And obviously I haven't really made that much money, but part of me is kind of okay with that. I don't really care. If I get to do things that I enjoy doing, I think that's infinitely more valuable to me than having money. So, I mean, obviously I need to make more if I want to actually like, you know, live. But that's the goal. You know, make enough monthly income, at least stable enough that I could afford like a rent at like a studio apartment or something. As a new indie dev, always go big, making MMORPG. Oh man. I mean, he's not anything wrong. Like, also, when I say that, like, it doesn't mean that if you are making, like, an MMO or anything, it's not bad. But, you know, to be brutally honest, if you want to make money off of it, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you're just doing it for fun as a hobby, then nobody can tell you not to do it. Like, if it's truly what you want to do and you're just doing it because you enjoy doing it, then I think make whatever kind of game you want, no matter how long it takes. So yeah. Like pressure and timelines, do game jams. Yeah, game jams are actually a really good thing, I think, for developers to do. Like, they kind of really help you develop your skills of like knowing time frames of how long things take to do and how much time you have remaining and what's important for a game. It's really helpful. So I would actually highly recommend doing game jams to start out. And it's important though to kind of be able to do both sides of it. Like, you should be able to do short little tiny projects, but if that's all you do, then you're going to kind of miss out on the skills you need to create something long enough to be more worthwhile for like a Steam launch. So I think somewhere in between those two is important. You know, don't work on game for 5 years, but also don't, you know, you have to find a nice middle ground of maybe 6 months to a year of development time seems pretty like good. And it depends on the genre. I mean, some games just take much longer to create, so, but you know, it just depends on what your goals are. Yeah, I saw that message. I don't think I'm gonna add a food mechanic like that. I was saying Dave the Diver, I think, has that mechanic already in it where you catch fish and then sell them for food. So I don't know if that's something I'd want to do in this game. I think it's a different kind of vibe, right? More of a strictly idle thing. But I'm not completely opposed to that kind of idea. I mean, maybe in the future we take a look at something like that, but at least for now, I think it's a little bit beyond the scope of what I'm aiming for. Let's see, it starts in 18 hours. Let's go. Yeah, the Queebles Jam. Yeah, there are so many jams on itch. It's pretty crazy. There's just constant jams going on. There's so many. So yeah, if you want to do a jam, these are all good. Some of the ones I highly recommend are GMTK Jam. Down to Jam is epic. I like these jams because they're short. They're only a couple days, and I really hate jams that go longer than a couple days, if I'm being entirely honest. I mean, it's fine and all, but I think you reach a certain point where you kind of start to lose the plot. Jams, in my eyes, the 1 to 3 days is like the sweet spot. Any longer than that, and I think it starts to become a little bit annoying. I mean, if people like week-long jams and stuff, that's fine, but me personally, I think it's too much of a commitment. Hey, Code Void, welcome in. I get here. I don't know. But yeah, what's going on? How's it going? Like GTA 6 being delayed when you said games take time. Yeah. I mean, GTA 6 is an enormous game. Sometimes delaying a game is a very good idea. Because the only thing worse than delaying a game is releasing a game that sucks. So I think it's always usually the right move with stuff like that. Okay, so let's figure out what this needs to be to work. So like you can see, obviously he's very squanched. There's this width value, right? And that's kind of like controlling. I think that should be set to whatever the height is of this sprite. So that would be 19 pixels. But also we have like the size of this line. So I think we're going to need to algorithmically create this line now. And it's not really that complicated. We just get the width of the image and then Yeah, we just divide it by 5 or whatever. So it should be pretty easy. I was wondering why the idle CPU usage is so high. Yeah, I'm using a line 2D for this to animate it because I can just drag these points and then he's animated. Obviously, it doesn't look that stupid in game, but you know. It's honestly a really easy way to do this. I mean, I could do like some complicated wacky shader or something, but why not just use the line? I think it works really well. All right, so when we set this initial stuff in here, now what we're gonna do is say sprite.width is equal to, and we have to do like get image to know the resolution of this, I think. So we say var image is that dot get image. Then we say image dot get height. So thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Is that built in? Yeah, you can just, all you do is you create a line 2D node. You set the texture mode to stretch. Sorry about my lisp, by the way, guys. I still got my retainers in. You set the fill texture to whatever you want, and it just kind of works. It's pretty cool. So yeah. Godot has a lot of stuff like that I always really enjoy. So thanks for showing. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I actually wasn't the one that came up with this. I saw a Reddit post, funny enough, of somebody doing a very similar thing. They were using it for fish. It was like a dolphin they were doing. I'm gonna have to find it now. Hold on. Now I must find it. But it was really cool, and I was like, you know what? That would work really well for this game. Search line 2D. It's in here somewhere. Well, I can't find it. But somewhere, it was a Reddit post. What UI controls do you think are missing in Godot? There technically are tree nodes, but I think they're very, like, underdeveloped. They need a little bit more time baking in the oven, so something like that would be very nice. Another one would be an animated texture rect. Right now, there's only just a static texture rect, and there's no way to do like a sprite sheet or any kind of animation on a texture rect. So something like that would be very nice. I wish that was in Godot. I did actually make one myself because I had to for Starground, but obviously a vanilla implemented one would be very nice. Yeah, for animated UI, yeah. It's another one. Did create a spacer node, which auto grows to fill the gaps in V&H containers. Yeah, nice. Yeah, it would be nice to have that by default. I mean, it would essentially just be a control node, but it would have like a, you know, the fill and grow stuff set up automatically as like the default values, so you don't have to set up a regular control node every time. Yeah. Do you move across each point, raising and lowering back points? Yeah, I just set each point to a sine wave right here, so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Brian range, stripe points dot size. Yeah, really easy to do. I just do a sine range. I like clamp the values, the height of those points depending on the velocity of the fish. So when they're static, they don't really move very much. Then when they move around, they swim. But it's really easy to do. So now we're going to say for eye and range, and I think we have 5. Yeah. So we're going to say points dot push back, and we have to actually say sprite dot points dot push back. And these are all going to be just pointing to the right. So vector 2, whatever that value is, 0 times I. Then we're going to calculate what point length is, and it's really easy. We just say point length is equal to image.getWidth divided by 5. And that should be it. So I'm hoping that fixes all these guys now. Let's go back into... Oh, also we need to make sure that it's actually set to nothing. An empty array. Let's check this again. Send a tile texture for a game I'm going to make. I want to show it to you in Discord. You can go check it out. It's very tiny. Let's open this up in Krita. Too many fish. Ooh, there we go. Okay. So is this just like a floor tile or something like that? Or a wall tile? What's the use of this? Okay, these guys should be... They're not good. I wonder why it didn't work. Point length. Image.getWidth. There's no errors. Let's print out point length. 7, 6, yeah, 3, 7. Should be fine. Floor tile, yeah. Okay. I think, one thing that would help here is you've got a lot of colors going on. It's a bit noisy because when you put a lot of these next to each other zoomed out, it's going to be a lot of texture. So I would recommend decreasing the number of colors that you have in here. I'd probably stick with like 3 or 4 at most. You can do something like this. It's going to do it on everything, but like, yeah, just something, decrease the number of colors here. Also, you're going to get like a double border like this. So if you want to fix that on your tile, just do this. So you should only have your border like up there on the top left corner so that when you tile these together, you can see you still retain that 1 pixel border. So that'll just help a little bit. Also, I'd recommend, since this is a floor tile, keep the contrast very low. If it's high contrast, it's going to start getting really visually annoying. So I would make sure that on this with contrast, let me go find, I wish I just had like, I guess this is sort of, no. But yeah, you want to keep this contrast very low, right? Something kind of like this. It doesn't have to be that intense, but like, you know, keep it very, very low contrast. Yeah, otherwise I think it could work. Okay, so it's printing out the points here. But it's not doing it. Yeah, sorry about the ads. Let's wait for that to finish. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. So sprite.width is equal to image.getHeight. Let's print out what that is. Should be reasonable. Well, looks pretty normal. So, point length, reset points. Can I just say dot clear or whatever? Like, it's a packed vector array. Yeah, I can just say clear. And that should say for iron range 5. So that should be at 0, 0, and then times 1, times 2, times 3. Should be okay. Yeah, not sure. Oh, okay. They're here. So it seemed to work. So one issue though is that for some reason the goldfish is like super stretched out. I don't know what's going on with him. I do wonder if these are like, if this is a not a unique vector or something. Like, let's get rid of that. Let's say points is equal to act vector2 array, just an empty one, just to make sure that they're all different resources. And now they're invisible again, which is quite odd. Is it because it's like not long enough? Like here, let's set this to 2. I mean, any amount on here should show the fish. So I wonder what's going on here. Let's print out what this is each time. I mean, that seems pretty normal. Interesting. Is it because I keep like setting this back and forth? I don't think that's what's going on here. Am I doing anything else in here that's weird? Also, this needs to be set to white. Let's do that. All right, ads are over. Sorry about that. But yeah, anyways, to sum up what I was saying, I recommend keep the contrast low. Something very, very low contrast and reduce number of colors. And also you can avoid the double border by removing it on the bottom right corner like this and just only do the top left like that. And I highly recommend doing multiple variations just for some variety. You know, just lay these out in a sprite sheet essentially and just randomize them a little bit. Have like one that's kind of like a base tile like this. And then you can go through and add cracks in different directions and stuff. Maybe one there, one there. And that's going to help add a lot of variation. You can randomly place which one you choose. So I would highly recommend that. Yeah, hopefully that helps. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. I mean, these values are fine. I doubt it's that. And setting it to this seems to, like, break it. I'm not really sure why. Width is fine. Maybe these can't be floats, but that would be weird. I don't see why that would be the case. Let's just print out what this is at the end of everything. I mean, it should be normal. Oh, somehow these are being reset to empty. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Pushback is a thing, right? I guess I could do add point instead of modifying the thing directly. Yeah, clear points and then say add point. Maybe that'll fix it. Maybe I'm just kind of not supposed to directly modify that. There we go. So yeah, now you can see the little guys are proper sized. Seems to be working pretty well. Now they are a tiny little bit too short. And that's because of the way that this length is determined. Because this is going to do an initial point of 0. So it's only going to end up doing, it's not going to be enough over there, right? So let's calculate this. Because it's only going to go up to 5. So I think we just need to increase this to 6. It always has to be one more than what we're dividing it by. And now I think they're the proper length. Because if we say that value or whatever, let's go down here and pick one. 7.4 times 6. Oh, but it's going to be 7.4 times 5. Yeah, which is 37. So I think that's correct now. All right, so I think we're all good here. Fish are fixed. Let's go make sure. Look at those fish. Now the shadows are a little bit misaligned. We got to figure that out. Also, I realized that I do like an offset here. Like that's all fine in there. Yeah, right here. I just say 16 or minus 16. It's not the way that should work anymore. I think we want to say sprite dot. Let's go ahead and type this. Is type of line 2D is equal to sprite. And now we can get types. Hooray! Technically, we might have been able to do that before, but it's just better this way. I guess this is fine directly modifying here. It's a little weird though. You'd think that would break everything, but I guess not. Okay, so we got all those set. So what I want to do is, instead of just saying 16, because that's not always correct, we could just set an initial offset value in here. I mean, it'd be pretty easy. We can just say size X 0, and then right here for width, size X is equal to that. And now down here where we set the positions, we say that divided by 2 and negative that divided by 2. So that should fix the offsets for them now. Let's go see what it looks like. Boom. So now their shadows are correctly positioned. And I would like to change the sizes of their shadows to according to their actual length. Because it's a little weird when the goldfish shadow is as big as the pike or walleye, you know, so he should have a tiny shadow. And he wobbles a lot because he's short, but it's fine. So what I'm going to do for that is adjust this scale value. Most likely. I'm trying to think how I want to do this. Well, I know what the resolution is of the shadow, so I can kind of determine it that way. It's 16. So we're going to multiply this by another value. Or I guess we just set what the maximum value is. Yeah. So how do we want to determine this? So maximum value for the scale is 1.5. So it should be that, the initial like base scale times 1.5. Like that. Then we can calculate what base scale is. So up and ready, we say base scale is equal to size X. And then let's figure this out. So if our size is 32, we can say 16 divided by 32. I guess we want to do the opposite. So 32 divided by 16, that should be twice the size or whatever. Let's say our size is 8. So we say 8 divided by 32. Yeah, which would be 0.25. So we want to say, yeah, 32 divided by 32 should be 1. So I think we say that divided by 32. For base scale float 1.0. So let's go see if this works. So this little guy, yeah, has a much smaller shadow. Epic. So yeah, this works pretty well. I think we're good to go. Can buy decorations. Epic. Okay, so that's been fixed. Were there any other bugs that we ran into that we need to fix? I think we got most of them. I think the only other thing that we had here was... Oh yeah, we need to make the travel menu get locked. That's something. So, we'll just do this. Or not travel menu, it's like a region panel in process. So we're gonna say if research level. And now what we're going to do is add another thing onto the regions table. And this is going to say, all right, required research. By default, it's an empty string. So lake will require lake. River will require river. It's a little messed up. Research dot river dot lake. Okay, so we got those set up. We're getting region data. So if data dot required research, and let's make sure that I think I set a default on that, didn't I? Yeah. So if we have it, we're just going to say locked is false. If level of our required research is equal to 0, then locked is true. Oops. And I don't know why it's saying region data is not real. Oh. Let's do that. Okay, and then down here we say if locked modulate is equal to color 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, else color dot white. And let's reset the game. So I shouldn't have the river unlocked. I don't think did I buy it? I can't remember. I might have. Oh, when I typed that in wrong. Okay. Yeah, I did. I don't want to like reset my save, I guess. It's too bad. Now I feel attached to the save. I've had so many good memories here. It's okay. Or maybe I could just temporarily do this. This would be fine. Just say if it's greater than 0. Now I know if it's locked. So boom, yeah, these two are locked. We can see that. So similar to how I do the upgrade panel. Almost the exact same, actually. In here, when we're locked, like this stuff, and if mouse hovered, we do all that stuff. So let's do this guy. go back to our region panel. So in here, we're going to say if locked and mouse hovered. So research data, we're going to say, let's just go grab that from here. Where's research data? There it is. Should be fine. Now I need to know if mouse is hovered over this, so let's do another var. It's hovered is false. Oops. Research data.name requires research. Yeah. And let's also do this down here now. That disabled is that, or we're locked. And where do I set the font on this? Okay, normally I do this here. Let's move this down to here. So if we're not locked, we do that. Otherwise, we say locked. Okay, and then final thing, we got to kind of set up some more on here, the not the upgrade panel, but kind of like this. I think on this we have, yeah, stop on that. Then all of these other ones are set to pass, except for buy. That's set to stop, but like text and all of that stuff, we set to pass. So we got to do that for the region panel. So all of these guys, we go to mouse, we say pass. And this one, mouse stop. That should work. And kind of like the upgrade panel, I think I'd like to do... We'll do that in a minute. Okay. And then let's go figure out how we do the mouse. I think it's really easy. Yeah, we just do this. Back to the region panel code. We set this. Mouse entered, mouse exited. Mouse hovered is true or false. Mouse hovered, set it to that. Let's see what happens. So now if it's locked and we hover over it, I should say, you know, hey, it's locked, pal. Yeah. Nice. I think that works pretty well. Also, something I'd like to do just to be consistent, I like how this has like, you know, the panel in the background. I'd like to do that here. Because this just looks nice. So let's go into the travel menu. And I don't think there's really a whole lot of communication between that button and everything else. Is there any? Not really. Not that I see. Which is good. So, on our travel menu, let's see, underneath the scroll container, this does have a reference to that VBox container, so we're good to go. We set another panel container. Boom. Set this to expand. Set the theme variation to 3. And there we go. Just like how that looks. Nice. So yeah, it shows the required research. Now let's go ahead and reset the code here. So yeah, it should be locked only if our level is equal to 0. And when we say get research level, actually we don't even need to do that. Because even if we don't have it, it'll just return an empty thing, and it'll return 0 by default. But actually no, we do want that. Because we don't want it to return, yeah. So locked will be false by default, and it'll only do that check if we actually have it. And if we know we're locked, we know we have required research. So yeah, should work. So since I already have both researches, it's not going to be locked in here, but yeah, should start off locked. What's actually nice about this new save data system is I can move my game data into a temporary folder and then load it back in. So like I could exit out of here, move my game data into here, right? Boom. And then open the game back up. And now my save has been reset, even though I still have a copy of my save data. So it's actually kind of nice. It means I can test, like, I can create like a bunch of different like states of the game. Yeah, so it shows those two are locked. Pretty cool. The research is 20 bones. So I think we're just about ready to put up the update. Now, before I do, is there anything that any of you can think of that needs fixing or changing or anything like that? Obviously, it has to be relatively easy. So I don't want to spend a million hours doing it right now, but let's go look inside of the playtesting suggestions and issues right now. That should be fixed. Thank you for the spin, I appreciate it. And also Future Tech, thank you for the follow. So let's sort by, yeah, alert in. Fish tank bugs. I think I fixed that. Fix that. Fix that. Fix that. Fix that. Yeah, I think pretty much all these are fixed. That's cool. Alrighty. I think we're good to go. As far as I can tell. The only thing that I felt a little bit playing through the game is like maybe I'm making a little bit too much money or just a little bit too fast. There's very, very little idling involved. It's hard to say, you know, if that needs to be changed or not, but one thing that would help with that, yeah, is just obviously this one. The merchandise, I think, is the one that makes me a lot of money. I did increase the cost scaling of advertising too, though, so... But I do want people to end up with a lot of customers, because I think it's just kind of epic. So I don't want to make that one too expensive. But we could potentially just increase the cost of this one a little bit more, because it is really powerful. I mean, with only 2 upgrades, it doubles the amount of money you make, so I'm just going to leave that one there. Hopefully that feels good. I don't want it to get too expensive, but I want to make sure that, like, you know, things feel pretty balanced up until the point of getting to the river, because after that, when you get to the ocean, you get more fish that make more money for you, and so it kind of, like, becomes a lot easier, and the progression should ramp up again, so... Also, one final thing that I would like to do, and I think it would help a lot with just everything and general feel of everything, is the value of these fish. I think are way too low. The first fish could be pretty cheap. I mean, obviously, like, they shouldn't be a lot. But let's, like, up the base value to 2. Like, goldfish can be, like, 4. The koi can go up, like, a lot. Because if you find a koi fish, it's worth a lot. Bluegill can go to 4. Carp can go to 10. Maybe 10 or like 8. Walleye, see, like that's really expensive. Let's see, just joining. What are you creating? Yeah, we're working on an idle fishing game called Lured In. I can show things off here in just a minute. So that one was more than the catfish. Set that to 120, maybe 140 on him. Tilapia can be like 12 or something. That's probably fine. The eel, that needs to go like up way more, like 500. And the northern pike is really valuable and rare. So that should... Actually, the eel is the one that's like really valuable. $1,000. Northern pike could be like 500. I think that's going to help a lot with these, hopefully. So like there's really not any reason to sell your koi unless like you just need a quick little cash boost, but should make fishing feel a lot more kind of worthwhile, because now like getting catfish and stuff, it's like a decent little cash boost. I mean, it's not like a ton, but it will help you save up pretty quickly. I'll be tweaking those values a lot more, just so they feel right, but I think this should be pretty good. Passive income becomes so much more powerful than cash value, so I don't really care about increasing these like a lot. I think it's actually good too. I think they should kind of compete. Maybe I even add in an upgrade that multiplies the value of each fish and what they sell for. I think that would be a good thing. So I will put that down in here. I'll also say greatly increased fish. Upgrade to multiply cash sell value of fish. Okay. I guess let's go ahead and push an update. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. It doesn't take like a super long time to finish the game again, but obviously it definitely takes longer though. There's a lot more to see. It's more than just going to the pond. Now there's the whole research system and everything, so yeah. So let's go to builds. Okay, it's all empty in there, good. Export, load in. Oh. We have to get the templates again. Godot editor. Then this is Windows 64. And then there's none for debug. Okay, just copy this path and just be like, should work, right? Yeah. So what is it complaining about? Export templates found. Windows debug X. I don't know what those are for. Oh, I'm gonna actually need those, yeah. I know what those are. Linux, Sky, and then debug x86-64. Okay, so we need to go up into, where is it? Here? Or no, not there. Where's it again? Editor features. Where do I install the Godot runtimes? I always forget. It's like a weird section. Maybe it's in here. Where do I do that again? Let's look it up. So say Godot update runtime. Update. What are they called? Release. Exe. What do you call that? All right, I already forgot. Let's see. Oh, export template. Yeah, let's look at our export templates. Ah, editor managed export templates. Okay. There we go. So yeah, I just had to download the newest ones. Download and install. All right, here we go. Then we'll go upload these and we're good to go. It would be pretty epic to get a demo up at some point. I need to work on the main menu also, it's a little boring. I've been trying to think of ideas for the main menu. Right now it's just a static background. Maybe it'd be cool if it was like a tank and you're looking at all the fish swimming around on the main menu. I was also thinking about potentially making it so that like the fish that spawn in are actually like fish in your save file or in one of your tanks. Might be kind of cool. But yeah, I'm not sure. You know, this is a pretty big update to lure in. Wonder if I should do like rename this update. Come on, almost. Because I have this as 1.1 right now, but this is like pretty big. Kind of completely changes the entire game. It's fine. I'll do that when I add a new epic content. Okay. I think we are good to go. We got both these. Let's just hit export all. Yeah, I need to work on like a logo and stuff. Okay. This should be ready to go. Let's go check in here. There they are. Zero 0.1.1.0. Let's do that. Am I rebuilding or do I do patch files? I haven't messed with the patch file thing yet. I mean, it's neat and all, but the size of the game is so small right now, I don't think it even matters. I mean, what we're talking like a... Also, I've changed so many things in the file in the game, it's probably wouldn't even do anything. It would be like almost the same size as the entire game. But the patching is really cool though. I think for games that are particularly large, it's very helpful. Like if you have a game that has a ton of models and assets and stuff, I could see definitely a good reason to do patching. But lured in is like I think 100 megabytes, so it's pretty tiny. I don't even really bother with it. Yeah, or modding. That's the other thing that's really epic, and I'm excited for. So 0.1.1.0. Okay. These guys in. Okay, I think we're good. We got the Linux build. Let's go upload these. Yeah, I need to start working on modding support for the game. I think that's going to be kind of the next thing. I want to get this up and just see what people think about it, and then we're going to just sprinkle in a tiny bit of modding support. I'm not going to be super worried about it right now because obviously there's a lot of green between now and summer that we'd have to roll through, but I think it would be cool eventually. Okay, I'm still getting the same errors that I always get for some reason, where it says error failure. I need to set up the Steam GUI build thing for Lurden, because it would be nice. Web builds. No. God dang it. Yeah, that's also another thing that's annoying about web build, is it disconnects the stream. So yeah, I gotta do the GUI thing. I'll set that up later. I'll put that in my to-do list so I don't forget. Steam. What do they call that? Steam pipe or whatever? I think it's what it's called. But we got them uploaded. Also, I'm gonna make a branch for people. Oh. Just in case you guys still want to play the old version. But I highly recommend the new one. All right. I think we're good to go. At everyone. No, I would never. So yeah, our change log has been finished. Have I done everything in here? It is so shadow size and tanks are scaled to fish size. Let me just make sure I got everything in here. Oh yeah, that's what the word I was thinking of. So shadows and tank is proportional fish size. Settings button, research system. Slider to the little amount. 10 new fish. Did I up that to triple or something? I think it quadruples now. Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Oh, that's a change, not a fix. Fixing improved bait power scaling. It was calculating it incorrectly high or whatever. Okay, I think that's everything. Unless you guys can think of anything I missed in here. But we should be good. Let's go put this post up. A new Lurden update has dropped. This one includes a ton of new content. Adds a ton of new content, including research, 2 new zones. Oh yeah, I didn't actually add the ocean region. 10 new fish. Tons of rebalancing. Warning. This new update will clear your save. This is because I made it so user settings and game data is saved separately, which will be a good thing in the long run. Just in case it's a problem, I added the old version 1.00 as a beta, so you can keep playing on the old version if you want. Loading the new version will delete your save. Yeah. Let me know how the new balancing tweaks are feeling. The game should start out much faster, and money should, and late game slows down a lot more now. Leave any feedback or bugs over in playtesting suggestions and issues. Thanks, gamers. Okay. I think the new version is so different that a reset save is for the best anyways. Yeah, it definitely is. All right. Boom. Oh, I forgot to put like fixed, changed. I guess I forgot to do that everywhere. Okay, update is up. Let me know what you think, guys. Hopefully it's fun. Why did that not turn into a list? Oh, I didn't put a space. We're good. Yeah, I gotta try out your update, Oshik. Let's go do that. Oh, I guess I already have the password. V2, let's go. Cool. Let's check it out. Whoa. Let's go. Yeah, I like that new hole sprite. That's definitely, to me, a much more obvious now. Whoa. Oh, shows like my region up there. That's cool. Okay, so I can shoot with arrow keys. Nice. Like the effects you got going on for those guys. Eyeball, a new enemy. Oh. No, that's the... Okay, never mind. It's just a particle. I presume that particle appears when they first, like, spot you or whatever. Oh, there are new enemies, though. Yeah, the guy with the pickaxe is new. That guy's, like, a faster, weaker enemy. We got the arrow guy. Ouch. I like the rails you got going on. It's pretty sick. Node 2D at 179. Might need to be fixed. I think this is a bug. I'm probably not supposed to be able to leave, right? Might want to look into that. Oh, that was debugging stuff? I actually kind of like it, though. It's kind of cool. If you had like a little pop-up that told me the name of the prefab, like Mineshaft 2, I think that's actually kind of cool. Fix out and add doors. Okay, epic, yeah. Nice. So is the dungeon generational? Whoa, there's a new guy. Oh, he blows up. I did not realize. Run is over. Epic fail. Let's run it up again. Is there a button to reset or to restart my run? I couldn't tell. Also, these guys are like in the wall. Is that okay? No, that seems to be intentional. I just couldn't tell if he was like glitched out or not. Whoa, it's starting off with a lot of guys. Yeah, I think you should add a menu for when I die. Just a prompt to restart would be very nice, so I don't have to relaunch the game. I don't think having a key to restart is good because somebody's gonna accidentally hit it. It's fine for debugging, but I think the better option is to actually make a game over menu. Whoa, okay, so they can break tiles. That's what their shtick is. Sometimes they break them, I guess. Ouch. Okay, that guy, oh. Gotta get away from him. Yeah, he's like an instant kill. So he has the R button, you need to hold it. Yeah, I think it's fine that if there's like UI popping up on screen, you have to hold it. That's okay. But I hate when I'm like playing someone's game and I accidentally hit R and it's completely reset. It's like, oh, dude. Oh. I know it's like a lot of work, but something I would love for this is a mini-map. Because it's really hard for me to know where I kind of am in relation to everything else. I know it's like, you know, would take a bit of work. It wasn't easy to do that in Starground, but... Oh! Okay. Dang. Oh. I have a grit in my eyes. But yeah, new generation is pretty epic. Oh my god. Should do the arrow thing? Let's see. I can't like line up to do it. Oh, maybe over here though. Oh, it's okay. Oh. Ow. And I presume there's no way to heal right now. Yeah. Definitely would be cool to do like also David the Purple, thank you for follow. To do like item drops and stuff like the Binding of Isaac. I wish I kind of knew how big his radius was before I kill him, because it feels sometimes very unfair. The explodey guy. I think having him like have a semi-transparent red circle around him would be very nice, because then I can kind of gauge like, should I actually start hitting this guy or am I gonna die in the blast? I think it would just like make it a little bit more strategic in terms of it wouldn't just be a matter of run away as far as possible, but more like, you know, okay, I move over here, I see which guys I'm about to kill and stuff, so there be a health rework and let's go. The most, oh god, there's a door there. I would have been done. Also, a diagonal shooting would be nice. You know, if I hold left and up at the same time, I could kind of go at a diagonal. No diagonal shooting? Okay. That's fine. I don't think it's an Isaac either. I guess I could see the reason for it. If a blowy up guy spawns, I'm dead. Okay, fine. Is the dungeon infinite? Or like at a certain point do I finally reach the end? Because I'm not sure. I presume it's not infinite, but I don't know. This guy's scary. He could just instantly kill me in a second. Not infinite. Okay, good. I always think like sometimes people implement infinite generation, but then he was a little bugged out, but don't actually do it for like any reason. I think not every game needs to be infinite. I see that sometimes with like survival games. It's like, I mean, you can make the game infinite, but like, I think it's only worth the trouble if it actually adds value. And in something like this, I don't think it adds any value because you don't get any sense of like completion. I like, oh my god, what is going on over here? I like the fact that I can actually like complete a zone. I think that's one of the problems that I hate about the new Minecraft caves is they're so enormous that it just goes on forever. I forgot to kill spawner. Oh man. Yeah, I messed up. I actually really liked the old Minecraft caves where they would eventually end. You kind of reach a dead end and then it's like, okay, cave complete. I can leave. I really dislike how the new ones are just so enormous that it's like they just go on forever. Dude, I'm about to die. Okay, we're getting through these guys. There's so many though. These arrow guys are gonna kill me. Okay, not too bad. God, I'm afraid of this guy. Oh! Wait. Okay. Oh, we're getting through them. Oh no. Please don't kill me. Please, please, please. No, don't. Okay. No. I'm gonna die, man. I think one more arrow hit and I'm dead. I really hope I didn't leave another spawner. Oh god, oh god. Okay. Gonna blow up, Okay. It's fine. Come on, we're almost there. No. It's okay, it's okay. Yes. It's a little quirky. Sometimes they just don't pathfind. Not sure what's up with that. Might want to look at the code for that. Oh god. What is he doing here? There's two of them. Okay. This is all new stuff. Oh god. Yeah, see, since I don't have any kind of mini-map, I don't really know, like, when I've killed everything in the dungeon. I also have no sense of how big the dungeon is either. So yeah, I always think mini-map with dungeon crawler is, like, kind of a necessity. Oh, I died. That's okay. Yeah, pretty epic. I think the generation is really cool. You get to do a bunch of different shapes of prefabs. Yeah, because the way you're doing it is you're doing like a... I don't know what you would describe it as, but you get like spawning nodes at the ends or the exits of each room. So you can do some pretty funky shapes. Like, I can't really do that in Starground because everything's a grid in Starground, but with this you could do like all sorts of weird corridors and hallways and stuff, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I like what you got going on. Pretty sick. I think just keep at it. Minimap would be very nice, and I'd like to see like some more like progression You know, maybe health drops would be nice, but it'd be really cool if I could get like upgrades or something at some point. It'd be pretty nice. Inspiration is Minecraft mine shafts. Yeah, they're very cool. I like, yeah, because that's also the way Minecraft does it, is they have those like spawning points and stuff. I think it's a good way to do it. Yeah. Yeah, structure blocks. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, it's pretty epic so far. I'm liking it. Definitely keep at it, I would say. Did I fix any of these other ones in here? I did research. We got an ad coming up. So let's go ahead and start the ad now. I did that. Did that. I haven't done any of that stuff yet. None of that yet. That's okay. Alright, well now wait for the ads. Well, we did it. We got the update out for Lured In. So now we're gonna work on deadlift. I do have to leave here in just a second, so but yeah, hopefully it's fun. Definitely let me know what you guys think about the new like difficulty scaling with Lured In, because it's quite a large change to everything. So yeah, but I think it's much more balanced in my personal opinion. Some of the next things I'd like to do is like you know, time limit on offline income. That would be good. And you can upgrade it. It can be upgraded. Also, rebirth system would be nice, which we already have up here. But yeah, it'd be pretty epic. We'll be dabbling with all that stuff at some point. So deadlift. Yeah, let's talk about this funny game. So I got all the coordinates fixed, for the mazes and stuff. I'm glad I did that. Did I just move something by accident? No, we're good, I guess. We're getting a percentage of offline earnings. Yeah, that could also work. I actually maybe like that system better. Or maybe we even do both. Similar offline income and efficiency value. I mean, why not do both? That'd be kind of fun. Because then it gives people sort of a choice. Like, if you're a very active person and like you're playing the game a lot, then it makes sense to kind of invest more in the offline time upgrades. But if you're only going to be gone for like an hour or something, then it makes more sense to just focus on the efficiency upgrades. So but yeah, that'll be fun. I think that'll be another layer of like a good like progression kind of gate that you need to work toward. I mean, not that I want to arbitrarily throw in ways to slow down progression, obviously not, but I think it'll be good though. So I fixed all the coordinates with deadlift. The maps are generating nicely now, which is good. So I'm happy with how that is. I've had a recent bout of inspiration for some ideas for deadlift. I don't know if you guys have seen, but there's an epic little Minecraft mod that came out. Also, Nuke Coderex, thank you for the follow. What is it called again? I don't even remember. Yeah, just click on this and see. This is the video I watched. This is the mod, wonderland.jar. And I think it's really cool. It's definitely very heavily Backrooms inspired. And in a lot of ways, Deadlift also is. I feel like Deadlift in this mod actually kind of on a very similar vibe in a lot of ways. But something I really liked in this mod, I mean, okay, spoiler alert if you guys want to actually play the mod or whatever. Yeah, they definitely share some DNA for sure. But there's a dimension in here. There's like a lot of different dimensions in this mod that you travel to. And in a lot of ways, Deadlift is like that too, because you go down into different like levels and stuff. Let's see, when to unmute. Unmute what? I'm not sure what you're referring to. But it's kind of like that with this, where you travel to all these different dimensions. And there's one level in here that was like really spooky to me. It's like this mossy cobblestone area, and it was so cool because like I like how this mod plays with space. So you should check out Space Potatoes Backrooms. Okay, yeah. Some mod ran with multiplayer is amazing with it. Interesting. I'll have to check that out. Yeah. But what I love about this mod is you have some zones that are scarily large, like this place, where it's so open, it's kind of unnerving. And then it throws you into a place like this where it's like very dense. And I don't know, I just really liked that contrast. I thought it was really neat. Because then it makes it so unnerving when you're thrown into the very claustrophobic area. It was like, whoa, this is like very suffocating in like a cool way. I just really liked it. And we just did that change with Deadlift where there's different generation types now. Like we can choose to do different types of corridors and rooms and stuff. So I almost would really like to play with that concept of like different kind of like scales. Just the position of the megalophobic and claustrophobic areas are amazing. Yeah, I think it's really neat. And honestly, I think Deadlift is kind of ripe for that concept. I mean, obviously I don't want to just steal everything, but we'll take our own spin on it. But I just think it's really epic. And since we just bothered doing that whole thing to do the different spawning types, maybe we mess with that, because I think it would be kind of epic. And I also really liked how a lot of the levels too, alert and update broken. What's going on with it? Did I not put all the files in here? Both in there. Let's try running it. Oh, I don't have Steam API DLL. I forgot now that I'm using those templates, it matters. Let me re-upload those really quick. My bad. Go down to here. Yeah, I totally forgot to include those. Whoops. Yeah, my bad about that. Let me go fix this. Okay. Throw that in there. Steam API. All right, those are in there now. Now let's just make sure it runs on my computer. It should. Close this. Yeah, it ran fine. My bad, guys. Let's go fix that really quick. Hopefully it doesn't end the stream by accident. I remember Minecraft started as an Infinite Miner clone. Yeah, I think it's cool though. I definitely like. It kind of spoke to me in a way. The vibes of it. It was pretty spooky. And the other thing I was about to say is I really like how a lot of the levels or dimensions in the mod too. Okay. God dang it. Yeah, we're back. Funny Steam moment. But yeah, I was saying, I like how a lot of the dimensions also were like kind of very centralized around one kind of entity. Where it's just like one guy. And I think that was cool also. But yeah. I want to explore those concepts a bit. I do have to end stream now. We didn't really do anything in deadlift, but just wanted to chat about those things. I think we'll work on some of that tomorrow. I want to meet up with Zach tonight and kind of go over some ideas for that. Because we're sort of at a spot where we've got a lot of the core systems in now with recipes and stuff, and I'm kind of excited to start fleshing out the maze a bit more. I want more zones and more entities and yeah, just more stuff. I think the more variety there is with like what can generate and what kind of guys you run into, the better. Because, you know, obviously we have a lot of gameplay stuff, a lot of gameplay focus, but, you know, it is a horror game. I want to make sure it's scary and spooky. Also, yeah, 4-star Yelp review, I just put up the update. It should be fixed now. Let me know if it's working for you. But I think we're good to go. Just forgot the funny DLL. My bad. DLL. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and raid out now. Let's see who is doing stuff. I don't remember much about this project. Ship up. It's using UE5. We could perhaps raid them. But anyways, that's going to be it for today, gamers. Thank you for coming in. Thanks for playtesting the stream too. No problem. Yeah, let me know when you got more stuff for me to test. So, seems good now. All right. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I just missed the the DLL. I had to include that in the zip, otherwise it just breaks. So, we're good now. But yeah. Yeah, Grandma's doing stuff. Let's read in. All right. Thank you, gamers. I'll see you tomorrow, 3:30 MST. I think there's a potential for the stream to be delayed tomorrow. Just warning, because I got a lot of stuff going on, but hopefully that doesn't happen. We'll see. Yeah. Feel free to grab Starground on Steam. Lurden update is out, so you know, check it out. Let me know what you guys think. Leave feedback on the new balancing. And yeah, we'll be working on deadlift. Hopefully get a new deadlift update out soon. Send the link and password season. I will do that, yeah. Alright, we're gonna go raid We Are Grandma. Thank you, gamers, for coming in. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.